Hello class 8th. Welcome to English lecture. Today I am going to explain you chapter 4 Macavity the Mystery Cat by T.S. Eliot. Let us start by knowing something about the poet who has written this poem. T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot has written this mysterious poem. He was an American born essayist, publisher, playwright, and literary and social critic. He immigrated to England in 1914 at the age of 25 and strongly established himself as one of the foremost poets of his time. The Wasteland, the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock, and The Hollow Man are some of his most influential works. Besides, he wrote a lot of memorable poems for children. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1948. Macavity, the Mystery Cat. Student Thomas T.S. Eliot was born on 26 September 1888. He has also won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1948. He has described in this poem about a mysterious cat of extremely villainous characterization in his poem. Let us start the poem. Macavity's a mystery cat. He is called the hidden paw, for he is the master criminal who can defy the law. He is the bafflement of Scotland Yard, the flying squad despair, for when they reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. Now, in the very first paragraph, poet is trying to explain that this cat is known by the name Hidden Paw as he is the criminal mastermind who disregards law. He is an enigmatic figure to even the specialized detective agencies of the world like the Scotland Yard and the Flying Squad. These agencies had accepted their defeat by this clever cat. Now, student, this is a very clever cat, and therefore he is considered as the bafflement of the Scotland Yard. Now let's come to the second stanza. Macavity, Macavity, there's no one like Macavity. He's broken every human law, he breaks the law of gravity. His powers of levitation would make a fakir stare, and when you reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. You may seek him in the basement, you may look up in the air, but I tell you once and once again, Macavity is not there. Now, in the second paragraph, poet is trying to explain, for when they reach the scene of crime, Macavity is not there. Macavity is too clever to be caught, and he is nowhere near at the crime spot. The poet says that Macavity disobeys all human laws and also the law of gravity. His levitation is so powerful that it causes a fakir to stare bewildered. But when the crime spot is reached, Macavity is not there. Yes, the poet says that we may search him in the basement or we may look up in the air, but Macavity is not there. Now, here, poet is explaining the cleverness of the Macavity. Now, let's come to the third paragraph. Macavity's a ginger cat. He is very tall and thin. You know him, you would know him if you saw him, for his eyes are sunken in. His brow is deeply lined with thought, his head is highly doomed, his coat is dusty from neglect, his whiskers are uncombed. He sways his head from side to side with movements like a snake, and when you think he is half asleep, he is always wide awake. Now, in this paragraph, T.S. Eliot describes Macavity as a ginger cat who is both tall and thin. He can be recognized from his eyes, which are deeply sunken in. This cat has line on his forehead steeped with thoughts. He has a head that is highly doomed, while his coat is untidy and his whiskers uncombed. Macavity moves like a snake, and whenever he is mistaken to be asleep, he is wide awake. Let's come to the next paragraph. Macavity, Macavity, there is no one like Macavity, for he is the fine in feline shape, a monster of depravity. You may meet him in a by street, you may see him in the square, but when a crime's discovered, then Macavity is not there. Now, in this paragraph, the poet says that there is no one like Macavity. He is a devil in disguise of a cat. He is a monster of wickedness. One may meet him in a by street or in the square, but when the crime is discovered, you will not find Macavity. Means Macavity is not there. He is outwardly respectable. They say he cheats at cards, and his footprints are not found in any file of Scotland Yards. And when the larder is looted, or the jewel case is rifled, or when the milk is missing, or another peak's been stifled, or the greenhouse glass is broken, and the trellis past repair, there's the wonder of the thing, Macavity is not there. Now, in this paragraph, poet is explaining Macavity's footprints are never to be found in any file of the Scotland Yards. Here, the poet mentions some of his crimes. He says that Macavity is the one behind looting the larder or the jewel case. He is also behind the breaking of the greenhouse glass and the trellis. Also, when the milk goes missing or peck is being smoothed, it is Macavity to be blamed. The most surprising factor that connects them is that when the offense is discovered, Macavity is not there. Means whenever you are trying to search Macavity, he is not available over there. It means that how clever and smart he is. Now, in the next paragraph, and when the Foreign Office find a treaties gone astray, or they admiringly lose some plans and drawings by the way, there may be a scrap of paper in the hall or on the stair, but it's useless to investigate. Macavity is not there. And when the loss has been disclosed, the Secret Service say it must have been Macavity, but he is a mile away. You'll be sure to find him resting or a licking of his thumb or engaged in doing complicated long division sums. Yes, in this paragraph, T.S.Eliot is explaining when the Foreign Office treaty is not found or the admittedly lost some plans and drawing, it is useless to investigate as they all know that the mastermind behind this act is undoubtedly Macavity's, but Macavity a mile away from the scene of crime. He is either relaxing or licking his thumb or has occupied himself in solving complicated long division sums. Oh my god. Oh my god, he is so cunning and smart. Now, this is the last paragraph and a very important paragraph because it is the wind up of the poem. Macavity, Macavity, there is no one like Macavity. There never was a cat of such deceitfulness and suavity. He always has an alibi and one or two to spare. At whatever time the deed took place, Macavity wasn't there. And they say that all the cats whose wicked deeds are widely known, I might mention Munjru, I might mention Gribblebone, are nothing more than agents for the cat who all the time just control their operations, the Napoleon of crime. Yes, in this paragraph, T.S.Eliot is explaining the poem states that there has never been a cat of such deceitfulness and tactfulness. Now here, poet is explaining about the Macavity characteristics, deceitfulness and tactfulness. Macavity is always ready with an alibi or two, and when the crime are discovered, Macavity is not there. T.S. Eliot talks about other wicked cats, namely Munjure and Gribblebone, who are nothing but agents of Macavity. Now here, poet has taken two names, that is Monterey and Griddlebone, they are just nothing but only the agents of Macavity, the Napoleon of crime. Student, it's a very interesting and investigation kind of a poem. Hope you have understood about the important element which has been used by T.S. Eliot in this poem. This poem is interesting as well as innovative also. I hope you have understood the poem very well and try to find out the difficult word, try to understand the importance or the important term which has used in this poem and the meaning of the difficult words. He is the here poet has explained the hidden paw, master criminal broken every law, bafflement of the Scotland Yard, flying squad, despair, Napoleons of crime. In this way, the poet is explaining and giving the characterization of the Macavity and the terms and meanings from the chapter which I have taken out, like defy means disobey, bafflement to confuse, Scotland Yard, the headquarters of the London police force, flying squad, a group of police or soldiers ready to move into action quickly, levitation, floating in the air without support, fine, devil, feline, a cat, depravity, moral corruption. I hope you this chapter and this poem is helpful. I hope you have understood the poem. Try to take out the question answers. Thank you and have a good day.